She looked in the distance with her chest feeling hollow. Her mouth felt dry as she spoke. "I can't go to school?" The girl had electric green eyes that filled with water. She swallowed, trying to keep her emotions away from the situation. The doctor looked back at her. He was tall and had a scruffy look to him. As scruffy as he seemed, he had a soft voice and a soft heart. "I'm sorry. Like I said, stress can kill you." Mary's electric eyes adopted a dark look. Her mother placed her delicate hand on her shoulder. "Mary, everything's going to be okay." What a ridiculous and cliché thing to say, Mary thought. You have a rare, deadly disease. You can never live your life, but you'll be okay. It's okay. No, Mary knew it wasn't going to be okay. With her seeping pessimism, she still managed to turn to her mother and nod. Driving home, the car was dead silent. Mary stared through the bright window. It was as if God was mocking her. The outdoors, instead of being as gloomy and chaotic as she felt, were bright and peaceful. It was as if she was trapped in a cage with the monster of distress, with nothing to look at except everyone else's elation. The entire car ride, that's what she looked at. Everyone else's blue sky, bright sunny day, and everyone else's normality. She felt as if she was staring at everything she couldn't have. She was staring at everything she couldn't have. The next day, her mother returned her books and unenrolled her daughter from school. She walked back to her car slowly. Her mind felt like the Olympic Games as thoughts raced through her head. She knew how upset her daughter was and knew Mary would never tell her how upset she was. Sasha sat on her leather car seat, trembling. She placed her clacking keys in the key slot, but she didn't turn on the car. For some reason, in that moment, she just couldn't. Sasha didn't realize why she couldn't start the car, not until she noticed the water escaping her worried eyes. She was drowning in concern, but it seems melancholy won the gold medal. She felt it for her sick daughter. When she noticed that she was crying, she then couldn't stop, not for hours. Months passed and Mary's illness worsened. Most of the time, she couldn't even leave her bed without fainting. The worst part is, she started to grow lonely. She left school so she had no social contact. The isolation did not help her situation. In fact, it gave her immense stress. Eventually, she decided to make an Instagram account. Once she made her account, she finally felt ordinary. Mary was fully aware of her unusual predicament, but the socialization made her feel like a traditional teen. Because she had friends. After months of being caged with the monster of pessimism, she finally was unfettered. Instagram eventually became her whole life. Then after more time passed by, Mary came across a meme. It was a picture of her from the school she used to attend. In the photo, she looked unusually large. The meme said, "When you look like Mr. Krabs' daughter." She didn't think anything of the meme until she saw the comments. "More like she ate her. I know that girl. She went to my school. Didn't she leave because she was pregnant? Yeah, that's why the bitch got so fat. She was also a whore. Not surprised she got pregnant. I thought it was Mr. Krabs' daughter." In truth, Mary gained weight once she had stopped exercising. She had to stop exercising, for her heart couldn't take the exertion. She tried to steer clear from the picture, but it was everywhere. The only reason she didn't delete her account was because she didn't want to be deprived from her only source of social interaction. Yet she started to get that caged feeling all over again, except this was different. Now she didn't like her already struggling body. From that day forward, she became more and more insecure about her weight. And because of Mary's disease, she couldn't exercise, so she starved herself. She went from skipping lunch to skipping dinner, eventually to only consuming dangerously small portions of food. This made her even more ill, to where she could barely sit up. Sasha tried to get her daughter to eat more, but every time she tried, she failed. And the more she tried, the less Mary ate. "Mary, please eat. You're getting really thin. It's honestly starting to scare me." Sasha's eyes pleaded, but Mary just silently turned away. Sasha laid yet another plate of food by her daughter's bedside. "Mary, please. You can barely stand." Mary continued to sulk silently. The room was dimly lit. It was just as dark as the swirling gloom inside of her. Sasha spoke once more. "All right, I'm just going to leave this plate here. Please eat." Her methods never worked. The next day, when Mary was walking slowly to the bathroom, she heard a faint cry from her mother's room. Leaning her weight onto the walls, she took small steps towards Sasha's door. The girl's delicate heart pounded. It was as if Mary's heart became more furious for each small taken. for each small step taken. Mary pressed her small rosy ear against the cold door that separated her and her crying mother. She felt an ache of empathy in her chest as she listened to her mother speak to a friend on the phone. "I don't know what to do. I can tell she's hurting, but Mary won't even talk to me. She used to be such a happy girl. Now I barely recognize the girl lying in bed. She's lost weight and she can barely move. Since she was diagnosed, she's been taking it really hard. She won't eat anything, and she just lays in her bed, in the dark, every day. I'm scared, Trina. I don't want to lose my little girl." The next day, Mary started eating again. Months passed, the girl with the fragile heart and the bright green eyes once again filled with electricity. Mary finally was eating again, and her mother's mind came to ease. Then someone found her account. One morning, she woke with degrading comments all over her posts. But it was only one account, so she blocked it. She thought that was all, that it was only going to be that one account. She thought wrong. An hour later, when she looked at her phone again, it was cluttered with comments from more than 30 different people. For every account she blocked, another one took its place. So she decided eventually to put it on private. Her heart pounded. She began to dislike herself even more. She started to feel trapped again. She made a smart decision, but still the stress was affecting her. Then Mary started to see even more memes of her. They were once again everywhere. She grew frustrated and began to sob. The girl was tired of her cage. Her heart pounded as she cried. Her chest felt like a furnace. This was her only source of social interaction, and it became tainted. She already couldn't be a normal teenager. She couldn't play soccer anymore. She couldn't go to school, and there was no chance of her pursuing any career that could cause her stress. So her dreams of becoming a lawyer were lost. Mary already felt worthless. She already felt helpless. She spent countless nights in the ER. She couldn't go to amusement parks or concerts without fainting. Her heart started to pound so intensely that she felt it in her ears. Her breath became heavy. The electricity in her eyes faded. Then her green, once electric eyes clamped shut. Mary couldn't feel her heart pounding anymore. Only a pain in her chest. Her vision blurred, and she couldn't feel her arms anymore. Sasha ran to her as a mother would. She screamed as a mother would, and cried as a mother would when her daughter died. It was just Mary and Sasha. Mary's father died from the same condition, undiagnosed, when Mary was just a baby. Mary was all Sasha had. She lost her only child. So that night, when the same monster that took Sasha's husband took her daughter, Sasha joined. Unable to bear the loss, that night, Sasha killed herself. These people online and at Mary's school didn't know what she was going through. No one ever truly knows another's tragedies. That's why we must be careful of what we say and assume, whether it's a joke or not. A joke to you isn't always a joke to the person you make fun of, so please be careful of what you say and don't dehumanize. The person you're typing to right now is a real person with real tragedies and real feelings.